give the band another round of applause because that was so good.
Next, please welcome our Symposium scholar Rachel to the stage with a round of applause.
I think it can be quite easy to describe a TGS journey as a journey of movement. A driving question chosen, a country entered, all of this stuff. And this story is true, but it's not the whole picture. A TGS education is also an education in attention. I'm a visual theorist. I study how images and visual systems organize what can be seen and believed. Visual theory, it asks how images and visual systems train us to decide what looks credible, neutral, authoritative, or even true. But TGS made it impossible for me to imagine perception as something I was doing alone. You don't just see the world there. You see it alongside so many different people. You learn that your first reading of things might be so intelligent, but so small. So my argument is this. TGS does not only teach movement through the world, it teaches recognition of the systems through which the world becomes believable and seeable. For many TGS students, one of the first lessons happen before term even begins. Not in a learning space, but in the frame of a passport photo, in an airport, or at a border. My first lesson began in Belfast International Airport, stood in a biometric photo booth. Fluorescent light shining above me, the camera clicked, and there's a sheet in front of me, and it says, neutral expression, no smile, direct gaze, no shadows, even lighting, hair off your face. It's not frightening, just administration, but your face changes. You smooth yourself into something the system already knows how to read. And this image is not just a record, but it's a condition of your movement. I.L. Wiseman argues in his work on visual culture and forensic architecture that looking is not passive. To look is not just to move your eyes from side to side, but to look is to help construct a reality. The passport image, it presents itself as fairness. There's the same rules for everyone. But if that image is rejected and your document is delayed, and then your flight can be missed, it's no longer one rule, but a chain of permission. Then, at TGS, you might meet someone for the first time for whom that chain is not smooth. What looked neutral begins to appear as political technology. Next frame I want to take you to is that of a museum display. I think this matters so much for a school built around encounter because I don't believe encounter is ever neutral. The world doesn't arrive to us untouched. It arrives arranged. Recently, I went to the British Museum, and there's this Qing Dynasty imperial seal, and it's gorgeous. It's a dragon of pale green carved jade with this silk tassel on the end and these poetic carvings into it. But it comes with this little label below it. And it says Culture, Qing Dynasty. Production date, 1964. On display, Gallery 33, Case 26. And nothing about this encounter sounds violent. Then another phrase appears, just slightly smaller below it. Founder acquired, Summer Palace, Beijing. Acquisition notes from Summer Palace at Pekin. And this display begins to open. The Summer Palace was an imperial palace complex looted by Anglo-French forces in 1860 during the Second Opium War, and then it was burnt down in its entirety. The label hasn't lied, and that's what I think makes this frame so very interesting. The truth is there, but it's been turned into additional information. This beautiful jade enters first, and this looting arrives later if you choose to look for it. This isn't only an admission of information, it's a reordering of your moral attention. And that's not to say I'm outside of this problem. I have walked into museums and galleries and allowed beauty to overtake theft. But this is how a display does not simply hold an object, but choreographs your encounter with it. The third frame I want to talk about is our learning spaces. And after a day like this, I think it matters especially. A presentation, as you've seen, is never just a student speaking beside a slideshow. A learning space is just as much a visual field as anywhere else. Students learn what slides look researched, what maps look authoritative, what bodies look confident, and what kind of hesitations look like ignorance. In a geography classroom, a map appears on a slide. They talk about tectonic plates, economics, so on and so forth. But then one student in the back of the room says, "That's where I'm from." And suddenly this map isn't just a map, but it's a checkpoint, a neighborhood, a road that does not appear on a map. Suddenly this image is no longer flat or neutral. The place is relation. The opposite also happens. One student speaks fluently and the room trusts them quickly, and another begins hesitantly, and their first sentence is treated as uncertainty. Again, I have participated in this. I have mistaken fluency for clarity. I have read hesitation as lack, and we don't do this because we're cruel. We do this because we're trained, because authority has a look. By the time we've moved from this passport booth to the museum case, to the classroom, I think this pattern starts to become hard to miss. Neutrality and authority, they have visual forms. The white background of a passport photo, the glass case, the clean slide, the professional label, the calm institutional sentence, the white shirt, these forms do not simply present reality. They organize who passes easily, what is remembered, and who is heard. A TGS journey is full of so much movement, but the movement is never only physical. It's visual and social. What we do not construct consciously, we inherit the constructions of systems more powerful than us. By this point, I hope one thing is beginning to come clear. No one constructs or corrects their frame alone. I'm borrowing here from Arella Azule, whose work as a visual theorist asks us not to see an image as a sealed object, as if meaning sits inside it waiting to be extracted, but instead to see an image as an encounter. It involves the maker, the person represented, the institution that holds it, the viewer, the people authorized or not authorized to speak on it. To look is to enter a relation in which someone else may have a claim on how you describe what you see. Images do not only produce meanings, they produce obligations. Conversation is not separate from visual theory, don't get me wrong, it's one of its methods. TGS taught me this before I ever had the language for it. You hear a place you saw on a postcard described for someone by whom it's not a case study or a headline, but their home. Your first reading was not necessarily false, but it was too small. And the ethical demand is to let their knowledge disturb the frame that made your first feeling feel so complete in the first place. This is why I'm asking you to help me build an archive. An archive is not just a collection of images, it's a record of what the world has taught us to notice and remember. Bring me one ordinary image that trained the way you frame the world, your passport, a family picture, a receipt from your taxi here, and ask, what visual format is this? What becomes readable through it? What becomes harder to see because the image looks neutral? And then ask the hardest question. What did this image allow me or someone else not to know? I will end where many TGS journeys begin, not with a grand departure, but with a face made legible to a system, a document, a border, a teenager learning how to be seen before they know what seeing will make possible for them. Your eye was trained. Mine was too. The question is not if we can escape training, we cannot. The question is whether, when the image looks obvious, when the label sounds calm, when the confident voice seems right, we can ask what frame has been arranged for us. And whether, when someone shows us what our frame has hidden, we are willing not only to see differently, but to become responsible for what we were able not to see. And that's where my work as a visual theorist begins. Thank you.
Thank you for your amazing talk, Rachel.
Can you please have our principal, Jen, come in and give us some closing remarks?
Thank you. As we bring this symposium to a close for this year, I look out and I just want to thank each and every one of you. What a group of remarkable speakers. To stand on stage and deliver a talk on the experience of growth, curiosity, identity, and hope reminds all of us that though our individual journeys might take us to different corners of the globe, it is our shared humanity that connects us. I would like to extend a heartfelt thank to each of you as our symposium speakers for courageously stepping up on this stage and sharing your talks. Thank you for your vulnerability and your insight, your willingness to let us learn from your experiences. You have left us with ideas to consider, questions to explore, and stories that we will carry long after today. A very warm thank you to Noah and Bernice. Bernice, for standing up here and being our MCs for this year and doing a remarkable job. To Rachel, our alumni speaker, our symposium speaker for this year, thank you for sharing with us that our stories that we begin at Think Global School continue to unfold in meaningful ways we can't even begin to imagine. And while this formal part of our symposium is now coming to a close, the conversations are not. Stories are meant to be shared, discussed, and explored together. I encourage all of you here today to continue in those conversations as you spend time visiting our students at their showcase booths, where you'll find opportunities to engage in the ideas, in projects, and the experiences of our young people. Thank you for being part of this symposium event this year. I'm going to re-invite Noah and Bernice up onto the stage to close us out today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jen, for thanking everyone, and thank you, everyone, for your incredible presentations.
Yeah, now it's your turn to get up close with the projects of the students, and us too. Kindly head to the exhibition halls. That's one back there and one to the left of us. So right to yours. I'll guarantee you'll see something that's amazing and to show what the students are up to for this whole year and what they did.
Before you go, just a quick note, don't forget to scan the QR codes. I'm sure you all know what a QR code looks like. You will find them throughout the exhibition and share your thoughts with us. And like, just to mention we're great MCs. And also add, if it's about us, obviously, and whether it's about a specific presentation or the event as a whole, just make sure to leave your thoughts. And yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy the exhibitions.
Kalimera, everyone.